Hi, and welcome back to the shop. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I'm working on a walnut sideboard. That's a veneer project, and I'll be posting it next week. I have this project from 8 years ago out in the shop because I often get the comment that you shouldn't use contact cement for veneer. Here's a project from 8 years ago. Another comment I get is you shouldn't use lacquer if you're using contact cement to apply your veneer. So for me, the proof is in the pudding. This project is from 8 years ago. That's the process that I use. You can click on the link right here and check it out if you like. The only change in this piece of furniture is that the finish on the back is a little faded away because it sits in the window and this area gets direct sunlight. But other than that, aside from a few scratches just from having 4 kids and general wear and tear, this piece of furniture looks great. So that's all I can say. I get these comments from people. I don't know if they have any experience or not, or if they're just reading something on the internet. The process that I used to apply the veneer to this antique, this was a piece of furniture that I picked up at a used furniture place that needed some repairs, and instead of trying to refinish it, I just veneered over it. So it looks great. I'll bring the camera over and we'll go over all the areas where you think you could have some trouble, like on the corners where the veneer meets. And literally, there is nothing wrong with this piece aside from a few scratches from general wear and tear. And what I'm going to end up doing here is giving the whole cabinet a light sanding. Since I just finished spraying the walnut piece with lacquer, I've got some lacquer in the gun. I'll give this a light sanding, and before I clean the gun out, I'll give this another coat. So let's take a close look at it. I'll just pull the camera right out. And so this is zebra wood. Now the zebra wood is definitely darker than the veneer. Not sure why that is. The drawer pulls were on the cabinet. I think that they are walnut, and same with the feet. I used an 18 gauge nail gun to attach the molding. Now I use a 23 gauge pin nailer so it wouldn't be as noticeable. And you can see that that's a nice clean seam. No delamination at all. Same with the back. This is the area that gets direct sunlight, so this is a little faded here. And again, nothing. Very, very nice tight seams. And as far as the scratches, let's see if we can even see them. It's a little bit like right here. You can see that. And so we'll go ahead and just give this a light sanding with 320 and freshen it up. I just gave the cabinet a light sanding with 320 sandpaper. You can see it powdered up really nicely. That's what you want. Of course, you do want to wear a mask when you're doing that. I had a mask on. I just took it off to talk to the camera now. So I'll vacuum this off and spray it again, just one coat. And while I'm doing that, I want to remind you that I've got a ton of great furniture projects on my website, and they all have video tutorials right here on YouTube. I think I have maybe 5, maybe even 6 veneer projects now on my channel with plans on my site, and then a whole bunch of other furniture projects. And my goal is really to help woodworkers build the furniture for their homes. That's what I'm interested in, building pieces of furniture that I think will last the test of time, if that makes any sense. So yeah, click on the link right here. Hope that you'll check that out and let me help you with your next project. So now let's go ahead and spray this, and then I do have a little more advice on some other finishes that you don't want to use when you're working with veneer, applying it with contact cement. Okay, well, as you can see, this piece of furniture is as good as new 8 years later. One coat of lacquer, and looks great. So I just wanted to make this video because I get comments from time to time from people saying that you shouldn't use contact cement to apply veneer, and I've just never had a problem. You know, what can I say? It looks great. So one other thing I wanted to talk about is this is a solvent-based lacquer. That's fine. What you don't want to use when you're working with veneer, applying it with contact cement, is waterborne lacquer or waterborne polyurethane or any waterborne finish, because the water is going to expand the wood in the veneer and you're going to have a problem. And I know that from experience. You'll go through all the work making this beautiful piece of furniture and put on a coat of the waterborne finish, and next thing you know, it's all rolled and there's not much you can do about it. So avoid using a waterborne finish when you're using veneer applied with contact cement. An alternative finish would be a wipe-on poly, an oil-based wipe-on poly. I've used water locks in the past, which is very similar to a wipe-on poly, and you can freshen them up the same exact way where you would, you know, like this piece is 8 years old since I applied the veneer. If I had used water locks or wipe-on poly, I would have done the exact same thing where you lightly sand it with 320 and then apply another coat. It just freshens it right up. This is my last video before Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays, and I will be trying to upload the walnut sideboard sometime between Christmas and New Year's. So I hope that you'll tune in for that. I do have the plans up already on my site. You can check them out right here. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.